Sometimes the most intense secrets we carry are not born from shame, but from the complexity of our desires. They reveal parts of ourselves we often fail to comprehend, leaving us tangled in thought, questioning what it truly means to feel deeply and fully. Our deepest secrets are often the parts of us we have yet to fully understand. It's in those quiet moments of introspection that we realize the intensity of our own emotions and how they shape us in ways we didn't expect. We all carry parts of ourselves that we keep hidden, not because they are wrong, but because they are misunderstood. It's in those hidden spaces of the soul that our true feelings often lie, waiting for us to be brave enough to face them. There are feelings within me that I have yet to fully grasp, swirling in the quiet corners of my mind. Sometimes I wonder if these thoughts are just a part of growing or if they are deeper reflections of who I am. In the depths of our own minds, we carry a treasure trove of emotions and desires that only we can understand. To share them is to let others glimpse the vastness of our soul, but also the vulnerability that comes with it. The more I reflect on myself, the more I realize how little I understand about the parts of me that remain unexplored. It is in the quiet spaces that I truly find my peace, even if it's sometimes uncomfortable to acknowledge. At times, I feel like a puzzle, my emotions scattered across different pieces of my life, sometimes making sense, and other times leaving me questioning the bigger picture of who I am becoming. I have often found myself thinking about the complexity of my feelings, about how they are layered and intertwined in ways I can hardly describe. But it's in the act of self-reflection that I learn more about myself than I ever could through words alone. I find myself drawn to the parts of me that are not fully understood by others. They hold a mystery, not because they are hidden, but because they are still unfolding. In the quiet of my own thoughts, I've come to realize that the most profound changes within me happen when I embrace my uncertainty. There's beauty in the confusion and power in the search for meaning. The most powerful emotions are often the ones that we can't quite express. They sit in the background of our thoughts, quietly shaping our actions until one day they surface, leaving us to reconsider everything we thought we knew. When I take a step back and look at myself, I see a collection of experiences, some of which I don't fully understand. But I know that each one of them contributes to the story of who I am becoming. Our feelings are often messier than we allow ourselves to admit. They don't always fit into neat categories, but they are a part of who we are, helping to create the rich tapestry of our emotional lives. In the moments when I feel most unsure, I realize that this is when I'm growing the most. The space between clarity and confusion holds the greatest potential for personal transformation. I often wonder about the things we keep hidden from others, not out of fear, but because we don't yet have the words to explain them. These feelings are ours alone to interpret, and sometimes that's all we need. What I've come to understand is that our deepest thoughts and feelings aren't always meant to be shared immediately. Sometimes they require time to be processed, understood, and integrated into our being. There's a quiet strength that comes from confronting our own secrets. It's not about exposing them to the world, but about learning to embrace them as part of who we are. When I reflect on my innermost thoughts, I realize that my feelings are constantly evolving. They are not static, but fluid, teaching me something new each day about what it means to truly live. In the solitude of my own mind, I often find myself wondering why certain feelings linger while others fade. There's a mystery to the ebb and flow of emotions that I have yet to fully understand. It's in the moments of doubt that we often discover our true strength. We are forced to reckon with parts of ourselves that we might otherwise ignore, and in doing so, we grow into more authentic versions of who we are. We are all made up of stories, some of which are still unfolding. It's in the process of living, of embracing all the complexities of our emotions, that we find our truest selves. Sometimes, the most profound truths about ourselves are the ones we least expect. It's in the quiet moments of introspection that I uncover the parts of me that I had not yet seen. My deepest emotions are often tangled in layers, like a book waiting to be read. The more I reflect, the more I discover that every layer adds depth to the person I am becoming. It's easy to get lost in the noise of life, but when I slow down, I can hear the whispers of my own thoughts and feelings, guiding me to a deeper understanding of who I truly am. There are parts of me that are still unfolding, and I find comfort in knowing that it's okay not to have all the answers right now. It's in the process of discovery that I find my true self. As I reflect on my thoughts and emotions, I realize how much of who I am is shaped by my experiences. The journey of understanding myself is one that is ongoing and ever evolving. The quiet moments of reflection are where I uncover the most about myself. It's in those times of stillness that I can truly hear my inner voice, guiding me toward deeper truths. We all have feelings that we can't easily put into words. They're the silent forces that shape us, guiding our decisions and actions in ways we may not fully understand. There's a beauty in embracing the complexity of our emotions. By allowing ourselves to feel deeply, we learn to understand and appreciate the full spectrum of our emotional lives. I've learned that not all emotions are meant to be shared or understood right away. Some feelings need time to evolve, and in that process, we learn more about ourselves than we ever could have imagined. In the silence of my thoughts, I find the space to explore who I am becoming. It's in these moments of introspection that I begin to see the patterns in my emotions, leading me toward a deeper understanding of myself. Sometimes the most difficult emotions to face are the ones we don't understand, but through patience and self-compassion, I've learned that these feelings often hold the key to unlocking deeper truths about who we are. My deepest thoughts are not always clear, and that's okay. Sometimes the complexity of our emotions is a sign that we are growing, changing, and evolving into the person we are meant to be. I've come to realize that my emotions are not always as they seem. They are a reflection of my inner world, and by paying attention to them, I can gain valuable insights into who I truly am. There's a sense of peace that comes with acknowledging the parts of me that are still unknown. It's in these uncharted territories that I find the greatest potential for growth and self-discovery. The more I reflect on my own feelings, the more I see how much they shape my actions. Understanding my emotions has become a crucial part of understanding who I am and what I want out of life. I've realized that not all secrets need to be shared, but they still have power. By exploring them internally, I am learning more about myself than I could have imagined. My thoughts and feelings are a mirror of who I am becoming. They reflect the changes happening within me, even when I'm not fully aware of them. There's a certain wisdom in allowing ourselves to feel deeply. Okay. The more I embrace my emotions, the more I understand how they shape my identity and my journey. Sometimes the most profound insights come from looking inward. It's in these quiet moments of self-reflection that I am able to discover parts of myself that I didn't know existed. Each emotion I experience is like a thread in the fabric of my being. When I pause to reflect on them, I see how they weave together to create a beautiful tapestry of self-awareness. We all have moments of uncertainty, and that's okay. It's in those moments that we discover the depth of our own strength and resilience. I've learned that not all of my feelings need to make sense right away. Sometimes, the process of feeling them is more important than understanding them immediately. The journey of self-understanding is never a straight line. It's filled with twists and turns, each emotion guiding us closer to the truth of who we are meant to be. Every emotion I feel is a piece of the puzzle that makes up my identity. The more I learn to embrace them, the clearer the picture of who I am becomes. I find peace in the fact that my emotions are ever evolving. With each new experience, I uncover a little more about myself and what I truly need. Sometimes, the most profound realizations come when we allow ourselves to feel without judgment. It's in these raw moments that we discover our true selves. As I reflect on my emotions, I realize how much they shape the choices I make. Understanding them has become a key part of creating the life I want to live. There's a certain beauty in allowing our emotions to flow freely. When we stop resisting them, we begin to understand the deeper meanings behind them. Through the process of introspection, I've come to understand that my deepest thoughts and feelings are a reflection of my inner growth. They show me where I've been and guide me to where I'm going. The more I explore my own emotions, the more I realize how interconnected they are. They guide me through life, showing me what matters most.